Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another movie review. Recently I watched Dredd, which is the remake of the original Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone, and granted I absolutely love Sylvester Stallone, that particular film was not one of his better ones. Needless to say, Stallone made his money off of the Rocky films. I like the guy who played Judge Dredd in this particular remake. Having been familiar with the RPG, everything that was said and depicted was very accurate to the comic, or the RPG in my case, since I've never read the comic. You've got all these people living in mega cities and blocks and concrete apartments, basically, in this post-apocalyptic world. You have a drug called slow-mo, which causes the brain to run at 1% its normal speed. It's a narcotic. It's very addictive. And you have this drug lady. I didn't want to call her a drug lord because she's definitely a woman, a very cruel, calculating, vicious woman named Mama. Well, Mama is just her nickname. She has control of this sector called Peach Trees, and despite the very floral sounding name, it is anything but floral. I absolutely love Judge Dredd. I just think that he's an incredible character. He's DC's version of the Punisher. Both of these characters I love equally. I would just adore seeing the Punisher and Dredd working together, because I think they would be a really kick-butt team, and there would be a lot of heck to pay because you don't mess with Dredd. You've got this mutant character. Her name's Anderson, and I just absolutely fell head over heels for her. I thought that she was incredible. She's thought of as kind of a freak due to her psychic ability, and it just shows that even in that certain age, they still have kind of a stereotype against those who are abnormal, and mutants. And it's kind of the same line of X-Men. If you've seen the films, it's just sort of I think it's an allusion to that. The movie is exceptionally violent, but it's all warranted because the judges themselves, they go in guns blazing, no mercy. They are the law. They have to, because it's kill or be killed, basically. And if you know anything about the life or the short existence of a judge, they typically don't live to see their 21st birthday. And I thought, oh, that's gotta suck. But I've played the RPG before. I absolutely adore it, and it's a lot of fun. It's really violent, but it's kind of catharsis for me. Um, it was a really great film. I only give it 3 stars out of 4 because it's gonna make me sound a little bit prudish. It's a little bit too much violence for me, a little bit too much gore. This coming from a person who loves Braveheart and films like Troy and Gettysburg. Yeah. Okay, well, maybe the reason being that I like those films so much more than this particular one is because the violence is historically accurate. And now this is more fantasy, post-apocalyptic, sci-fi, uh, action adventure type of film, but I still like it. I just think it's extremely well done, and the bullet time that they used with the slow-mo was awesome. It really was, even though I wouldn't recommend people doing drugs or narcotics of any kind just because of the mind-altering effects and the whole thing, that whole aspect of not really regaining any of that part that you've lost back. Um, Once you're addicted to a substance and dependent upon it, you never really regain your humanity, basically. having been addicted to eBay myself, and I know it's different than being addicted to a drug or being alcoholic, I can say that I was not myself. I can attest to this wholeheartedly. You're somebody else entirely. That different shade of your personality is brought more out, and it's a horrible thing, and I never want to go down that route again. But anyways, Anderson was a very neat character. I really liked her, particularly how she would mess with other people's, especially the criminals' mind. That the one that they caught, his name was Kay. Um, Mama was an interesting character. She was just, you know, completely villainous. She was just so very twisted and messed up. She was disturbed on so many levels. She had no humanity whatsoever. She started out as a prostitute. Her face got cut up in an altercation. Yeah. But she actually emasculated somebody with her teeth. I thought, good Lord gravy! Ugh. Ugh. It's a little bit extreme, but for her character it makes absolute sense. Now, Anderson and Dredd are my two favorites, and my other favorite character is this guy who's he's connected to the mainframe of peach trees, and he's just so sweet. I just, woo, I, he was just a very kind character, and he was just a pawn in Mama's scheme. He was just trying to keep everything running, but well, she was holding a knife to his stomach, and she was going to eviscerate him. So yeah, it's not like he had a choice. Poor guy. I mean, I just felt for him. I think he was an albino, because his eyebrows were kind of neon in their color as well as his hair, and he looked very pale. But he had this ability to. He was connected to the mainframe itself, and I think he was the mainframe, because his eyes were very bionic in nature, and he was just an awesome character. But you just felt so sorry for him. I mean, he was so cool, that he was also really. He was manipulated by Mama, and he didn't have any freedom. He was just that was his entire life. He had to do whatever she said. What Anderson does for him later is the best thing that anybody could ever have done, and I would have done the same thing had I been a judge. Let's see. I'm not really sure what else to say about Dredd other than it's a very intriguing film. I'm not sure if it was green screened or where it was filmed or how it was done. The special effects are really good. Characters are fantastic. It's very, very gory. There's a lot of violence, but it's like with if you're watching The Sopranos, the cursing or the profanity and the violence and the killing that happens makes sense for where they're coming from. And I think that is the best way that I can equivocate, because they're so very similar, but of course Dredd is in a world that exists in sci-fi. It could very well happen, but let's just pray to heaven that it doesn't. It would be just all, I wouldn't want to live in that world. It would just be, I would be hiding all the time. I wouldn't want to come out. I would just, I'd probably be a hermit or something. But I don't really want to live like that, because as human beings, we're all social creatures, and kind of defeats the purpose. Other than that, I really enjoyed the film. I give it 2 thumbs up. But only 3 stars, because it was just a little wee bit too gory for me. But it was just artfully executed, beautifully done. The electronica music that they used was very appropriate, and I really liked it. And I'm not sure who was responsible for that, but they did a really good job, and it just suited the film's atmosphere and mood and everything. That's basically all I have to say about Dredd. If you have read the comic book, you probably would like it. If you played the RPG, it makes more sense. I don't know why, but for me, I thought, yeah, everything that they're saying is true, and everything that I've heard fits within the actual storyline. I'm not sure when it takes place in the actual timeline of Dredd itself, but nonetheless, it's pretty gosh darn awesome. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, till I see you next time. Laters!